From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Shenk with your headlines for Tuesday, October 29th. Medical marijuana is finally heading to voters after previous attempts fell short. Initiative 437 would decriminalize possession of up to 5 ounces if prescribed, while 438 would create a regulatory board. This is the third attempt to try to pass medical marijuana. In 2022, the issue fell about 9,000 signatures short, and in 2020, it was removed from the ballot for violating the state's single subject rule. Now, the trial against the sponsors of Nebraska's medical marijuana petitions began today in the Lancaster County Court. A former state senator filed the lawsuit alleging some signatures might be fraudulent. Plaintiffs claim several notaries intentionally violated the law, while medical marijuana attorneys argue the state's actions are unprecedented and aim to silence thousands of Nebraskans. The trial is expected to conclude by Friday. Lincoln man Joshua Tackett was sentenced to at least 85 years in prison for fatally abusing a 22-month-old boy. The 33-year-old was found guilty in July for the incident in March of last year when the toddler, Rudy Jr., was rushed to the hospital after being found unresponsive by his mother.
The images in my mind will never go away, even though I've tried to forget them and bury them. The bruising and yellowness I saw on his body of the old bruises, the blackness and blueness of the most recent ones I will never forget.
As for the boy's mother, Brittany Cook, she has been found guilty of child abuse resulting in death. Her sentencing is set for next month. In Omaha, family and friends of Rebecca Geiger are honoring her memory after she tragically lost her life in a domestic violence-related shooting.
Loving, caring to her, not only to her family, to her students, her neighbors, all of her friends.
Becky was my best friend. My first word was Becky.
She was so good at helping her students feel very seen and very loved and very much like they belonged.
Ms. Geiger was a special education teacher and had just started her 10th year at Westside High School. In other news, McDonald's visits dropped 10% nationwide last week, with a 33% drop in Colorado, the center of the E. coli outbreak. All contaminated products have been removed from supply chains and restaurants as McDonald's plans to resume selling quarter pounders this week. Health officials reported 1 death and at least 75 illnesses linked to the outbreak, including 11 cases in Nebraska. Lastly, Valley Irrigation's Valley Center Pivot has won the 2024 Coolest Thing Made in Nebraska competition. The contest featured a bracket-style matchup with 16 companies aiming to promote manufacturing in the state. Rounding out your night beat is a check of the 7-day forecast.
You've been listening to The Night Beat. Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.